Hey guys, it's Mike here, and welcome to another edition of Dragon Ball Super Reviews, in which I'm going to be reviewing Dragon Ball Super Episode 60, and talking about what happened during it. And a good amount of stuff happened on this episode, and I'll talk about exactly what happened during the episode in this review, and then I'll get right back into my pros and cons, and kind of what I thought about this episode as a whole. So without further ado, let's get started. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel to stay up to date on all upcoming videos in the future. In this episode of Dragon Ball Super, Goku, Vegeta, Trunks, and Bulma go to the future after Trunks recounts past events from his timeline and questions whether or not Beerus' destruction of past Zamasu would lead to the destruction of the future Zamasu and Black. Once there, Trunks helps an injured Mai with a sensu bean before heading off with Goku and Vegeta to see if Black and Zamasu are still in the future. Vegeta and Black quickly spar before Black reveals his true identity to Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks. Apparently, Black is actually Zamasu after all, and he used the Super Dragon Balls to wish to swap his body and mind with Goku's, and putting him in Zamasu's body and then killing him afterwards with his own hands. And with that, we are left on an awesome cliffhanger and twist that wants us wanting more in the next week, and I kind of want that next week's episode to get here just already. Now, while I did like this episode, I do have some pros and some cons that I want to talk about real quick. The first pro I would have to get into would have to be the cool reanimation of Trunks killing the androids. As Trunks talked about what happened with his past of killing the androids in his future, about how it didn't ripple back and forth essentially, and he doesn't really trust Beerus' own assessment of what he believes happened, and that's the whole reason why they go to the future in the first place, so that they could actually verify this. And this led to a good scene with Trunks helping Mai by giving her a sensu bean, and there was actually some comedy with that, with Goku, and Vegeta talking about kissing. Essentially how Goku was saying that he's never kissed before, but I think that might have kind of been something to do with the sensu bean, like he's never applied a sensu bean through kissing, or, the mouth to mouth, but knowing Goku and the super continuity, I wouldn't be really surprised if they're trying to tell us he's never kissed after all. And also, let's talk about the animation this episode. The animation at the end of the episode was really good once Goku and friends actually got to the future. Now, early on in the episode, it was kind of wonky and all over the place, but later on in the episode, once they actually got there, it was really good. And that was especially felt in that cool sparring between Vegeta and Black, which I also really liked. Another element of this episode I liked, you gave us a little bit of action with Trunks in his own past, which is also the future, I guess, but then we got a little bit more future action with Vegeta and Black. I mean, this is Back to the Future after all. We got some action in the future and the past, it makes sense. And finally, the revelation about Black being Zamasu in Goku's body was a very interesting twist, which explains aspects of his power and similar ki to Zamasu's, yet not being totally the same. Now, this is certainly something that's a really cool twist, and if you didn't see my video talking about this being revealed, you can check it out down below in the description, as well as the annotation talking about Black's true identity, what it was revealed, and what are the kind of implications about it. But as for the cons, I would have to say this episode did feel very padded out, with Trunks and Beerus discussing his concerns over Black and Zamasu still being alive in the future. Everything was just a drawn-out version of the last minute of the previous episode, where they already essentially had that exchange, so it did kind of feel like maybe they were, saving their budget until the very end of this episode, and it did look very good. There was some good animation there was some good little action there, but aside from that reanimated flashback of Trunks killing the androids, it didn't seem like anything else of consequence even happened until Trunks and the rest got to the future again. And Bulma coming to the future kind of seems like a contrived way to give Vegeta or Trunks a power-up in a future episode. Inserting her, a defenseless human, into the mix when Black and Zamasu are still there can only lead to her being placed in some sort of peril, which allows the next plot element to happen. So I can only hope that they at least execute that well when they get to it, because it's almost certainly something that's going to happen. I doubt she's going to leave unscathed. And finally, I didn't like that Vegeta immediately dropped down out of Super Saiyan Blue to his base after sparring with Black. Both the anime and manga state that the transformation to the form uses up a lot of stamina, so Vegeta going in and out of the form seems like a waste of energy for no reason or a contradiction of what both the anime and manga have established. Regardless of if it was for a cool scene, which, you know, it was, as I already said. Overall, I thought this was a pretty decent episode, Dragon Ball Super, that I think was saved by its ending. Not much of consequence happened until the characters went to the future, and once there, we got a cool twist that inspired us to tune in next week to see some awesome action to come. The next episode preview looks like it's shaping up to be an awesome episode, so make sure to check out my predictions video for my full thoughts on what's to come. Well, my name is Mike, and this has been another edition of Dragon Ball Super Reviews, in which I was reviewing Dragon Ball Super Episode 60. Let me know your own thoughts down below. Did you like this episode? And if not, let me know, what you didn't like about it, and let me know what you did like about it. Sure, let me know everything down below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and as I always say, stick around, because there's a lot more to come in the future.
Zamasu, we coming for you, Ningen!